Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion, and today we're on a brand new character. We're on Holibrand, who is my Hobbit Guardian, and we're going to be using him to do the Volume 3 epic storyline. So at the moment we are just outside Elrond's house, which is just over there to my left, and we are speaking to the elf Balthelion. So Balthelion in the background was the one that gave us the start of the Volume 2 epic storyline, and we're back here now to start with Balthelion here, who's going to give us the quest in a minute. But full disclaimer anyway, I managed to fuck up the original recordings of this. So the first 3 chapters of this and the very start of Volume 4, for whatever reason my microphone was not picking up the commentary that I was providing, so I am recording all this commentary after the fact, so it might not completely sync up with what we're seeing on the screen, and I may end up having to talk faster or slower depending on whatever I was rambling on about at the time. But we'll see how this goes. I might need to truncate bits and pieces, but it's kind of a shame because I was doing some really good voices as well, so I have to see if my vocal cords can cope with some of the voices that I did at the various chapters of this. But yeah, I think Holibrand is the 7th, or is he the 8th? I think it's the 8th character. I think the only 2 classes we haven't done are Champion and Lawmaster, which are upcoming, so stay tuned for those. But the Guardian is kind of the character that I haven't really enjoyed as much as the other classes. It was the one class that I could never really kind of get into. Now that may change because with Helm's Deep they did a massive overhaul of the all the traits and trait trees and whatnot. So I have to see if I do like it. It hasn't been too bad so far, at least I can say that. Spoilers, but we'll have to see if it's enjoyable going forwards.
We are met in time of need, and it is a joy to see you.
Holibrand, we are met in time of need, and it is joy to see you. You must have received my message, for little could have brought you hither with such haste. I did not dare speak openly of the reason for Master Elrond's request in my letter, for fear that the message might be intercepted. I apologise for drawing you here with so little information, but Master Elrond will explain in detail what I could not. Speak if you are ready. We will go to him together, and he will tell you what has prompted his call.
Master Elrond awaits.
Messages have come from Laurelin. Messages that cannot be ignored. My sons have returned from the wild, and together, they and a hero of Eriador must respond to these tidings with decisive action.
Very good, Holibrand. Perhaps now we will have an answer for why this haste is necessary. Is that Eladan? It is! Perhaps he will have some answers for us. Eladan, you have returned from your camp in the wild. Indeed. The promise of war has brought my brother and me back to the house of our father. War? Not here in Imladris. No, Balthelion, not yet. My brother and I ride to war in the south. Holibrand, this concerns you as well. My father waits for us in the Hall of Fire. So the Hall of Fire, if you remember from when we were in the Troll Shores, is just this room downstairs on the left. So if we just go through here, I'll meet us on the other side. What can be done when the future is so uncertain? I'm sure Elrond doesn't mind me running across his tables. The Hobbit Bilbo Baggins was sleeping here a few moments ago. Someone carried him off to bed then. I am pleased you received my summons, Holibrand. I apologise for being so close as to the reason for its urgency, but there are dangers on the road, and I did not wish any information that might do us harm to fall into the hands of evil men. 2 days ago, courier hawks arrived in Rivendell, bearing messages from Laurelin. The messages were short, but even in their brevity, they caused me pause. The messages are from Lady Galadriel. I understand some of their meaning, but I can only guess at the full import of her words. You know of the secret company that set forth from Imladris in December, Holibrand. We know they stayed for a time in Lothlorien, healing from their hurts. They have moved on from the safety of that land, sailing down the river Anduin with all secrecy. Do you fear for the success of their mission, Holibrand? They are strong of heart and true of purpose, Father. They will not falter in it. I wonder. This is the message I received from Galadriel of Lorien 2 days ago. Aragorn has need of his kindred. Let the Dunedain ride to him in Rohan. What is Aragorn doing in Rohan? None of the plans we discussed should have brought him there. If Lady Galadriel says Aragorn is in Rohan, he surely is, or will be. That is so. We must gather the Dunedain, the Rangers of Eriador. You must do this, Holibrand. I'm already part of the Rangers of Eriador. We formed this kinship 8 years ago. So, way ahead of you, mate. You know the roads and paths of Eriador, Holibrand. You must bring this news to the Rangers. The Rangers will uphold their oath. They will become the Grey Company and ride to the aid of their chief. I will meet you in the library to discuss this charge. But yeah, this was funny way back in the day when everyone just randomly came out with that line. It's like, I've already got the kinship, the Rangers of Eriador. We've already gathered them. We will have to gather our kinsmen, literally, and head south. That was a good laugh. Anyway, so we need to go upstairs to Elrond's library. So the easiest way to do this is to take the right slope. The left one will still get us upstairs, but this one's a bit closer to where we're going. So we go up one set of stairs, up the second set of stairs. And that's just the one door that's on our left. But there is Lady Arwen. She catches your eye. Oh, and smiles are gathering. Well, she's wearing a rather nice dress there. I know of the message from my grandmother, Holibrand. Her grandmother being Lady Galadriel. And I know that my father has asked you to gather the Dunedain, that they may ride south to the aid of Aragorn. We knew this day would come, he and I, and both have long prepared for its arrival. It has been my part to craft an item of beauty and of use, an item Aragorn will have need of before all is done. He knows of its making, and it will be a sign to him that the hour has indeed arrived when he must seize that which is his. I hope it will be of comfort to him too in distant lands. When the Dunedain are all assembled, I will send for you. I must be sure someone can bear this item to him. I will call you before the Rangers depart. Thank you, Holibrand. That means a great deal to me. So there's Lord Elrond. It will not be easy to gather the Dunedain as quickly as it must be done, Holibrand. It would be best for you to bring the message to certain of Aragorn's kin, that they may then speak to the rest of their people, while you travel to those of more distant lands. I have prepared the names of those to whom you must speak. Walk with me, and I will tell you where they can be found. My sons tell me that the Ranger Radanir has come to Forenhad in the Troll Shores. He will be closest. Radanir is humorless, but among the trees of the Troll Shores, he is more at home than any. He is an expert in herb lore. Smoking or just identifying plants? You will find the Ranger Candafe in the Lone Lands, at the base of the hill called Weathertop. He knows much about the lore and the heritage of the Dunedain. Zeradan is more settled than many of the Dunedain. He has a cabin in Breeland, and is held in higher regard by its people than others of the Rangers. Do you have any questions about these three? Once you have met Radanir in the Troll Shores, and told him that the Rangers must assemble, you should travel west into the Lone Lands. At the base of Weathertop you will find Candafe. He is sure to join the Grey Company. After you have spoken to Candace, you will travel into Breeland to speak with Saradan at his cabin. He is not as prone to wandering as others of his kin, but he must be told of Aragorn's need. But there are other rangers you must find. The Ranger Halros has a camp in the Shire, near the outskirts. I would tell you the names of the nearby towns, but I do not know them. I have not concerned myself with dealings in the Shire, as Gandalf, Aragorn and Halros have done. The Ranger Halbarad has always had the ear of Aragorn, his chieftain. You will find him at the hidden camp of Balthelion in the North Downs. Calanglad has overseen the defence of Anuminas on the shores of Lake Evendim for many years. He has known Aragorn for all his life. I do not doubt he will ride with the Grey Company. Do you have any further questions? Halros, Halbarad and Calanglad will speak with others of the Dunedain near the borders of the Shire and throughout the North Downs and Evendim, but there are 2 more rangers you will need to find personally. The distances are simply too great for anyone but you to cover in time. The Ranger Lofrandir watches the frozen northern lands of Thorakel, home of the Lossoth. And yet, the Grey Company needs Lofrandir, despite the incredible distance. He spent much of his life in the wide southern lands, and is familiar with their peoples. This way, Holibrand. The last ranger I would have you find is Coronir. You will find him in Alkire, in Angmar. Coronir is less bold, perhaps, than others of the Dunedain. Father, I do not understand. There is another ranger in Angmar that should be a part of the Grey Company. Why should Golodir not join the Grey Company? Golodir, you say? You could not know this, Holibrand, but Golodir has suffered much already. We know this because we did it in Volume 1, Book 8, I think it was. Spoilers if you haven't done that. It was before the gates of Khon Dum that Golodir's daughter was slain by the false king of Angmar. Golodir has nothing left to give, and cannot rightly be asked to do so. Let him remain in Eriador where he can nurse his grief. Coronir will go in his place. Golodir was a strong man and true of heart, but my father is right. He has suffered much. I did not know. I know very little of Coronir, beyond that he is loyal to a fort. Did he not remain in Alkire for years, awaiting Golodir's return from beyond the Ramus Deliron? And so it shall be, Holibrand. You will walk the paths of Eriador one more time, in search of these Dunedain. They will gather others of their kin, and when all is made ready, the Grey Company will set forth. It will be done as Galadriel of Lorien has asked. We respond to her message with the haste we must, and with the messenger those messages deserve. A guardian of proven loyalty to gather the Grey Company in time. Very good, Holibrand. Many hopes rest on your journey through Eriador to gather the Dunedain for their journey.
In the watches of the night, messages came from Galadriel of Lorien. Messages that give me pause. The company that set forth from Rivendell with 9
now departs with 8, bearing the gifts of the Lord and Lady. Their road takes them now down the waters of Anduin, and beyond my sight.
So we're back outside with Balthelion.
It will not be an easy task to gather the Dunedain.
Master Elrond was right to impress upon me the need for haste, Holibrand. If Aragorn has need of the Dunedain, they will need to be gathered with as much speed as can be managed. It will not be an easy task, for the Dunedain are given to wandering in the wild. They may be scattered across all of Eriador,